In terms of Apple, the new things that everybody talks about nowadays is just the WWDC 2019 because it's a new thing and it's actually very exciting. And in this video, I will show you the top 5 things of the new iPadOS. Let's begin right now. Okay, so the first thing that it doesn't even count to the list is that it even exists, because I made a couple of videos in the past like iOS version, whatever the version it was, and iPad review for that version, and just because the iPads are completely different from the phones, and that's why it makes sense that Apple did separate it from all other devices and created like a new world for iPads. Of course, these are not the major highlights of the new OS for the iPads, but things that are definitely part of it and appeal to me the most, so let's just jump to the first one. And the first one is that you can actually change the fonts. Of course, it's not something that would work across the entire operating system. It's not something that you will be able to change the font of every single app or every single text in pretty much the entire iPad, but it's more like specified for certain apps that now got the support for the font change. I focused on this in one of my older videos where I showed you how you can change the font on your iPhone or iPad, but only when you are texting someone or using the notes, which is a great thing, but now it's even better with the support for the changing font in some of the chosen applications. Another very cool feature of the iPadOS, the first generation, I believe it will probably be called iPadOS 1 or something, but anyways, the great feature is called Sidecar, and the name perfectly describes it because it allows you, or it is a feature which allows you to use your iPad as a monitor for your Mac. Which means that if you're doing something on your Mac, you can extend your workflow, you can extend your working area in order for you to have like more space to control the apps. And it's such a great thing because just think about it, you have the Apple Pencil support, and if you, for example, use a Photoshop on your MacBook and you put your iPhone next to it, it means that you can actually control some of the things, some of the layers and stuff using your Apple Pencil on the iPad. So it doesn't have to be cluttered on that one screen, you can actually extend it to the second one. I'm not sure how well, Apple didn't really specify it, if you will be able to use like multiple iPads as this sidecar or using the sidecar feature, but right now it's still pretty cool because using the Apple Pencil or even just your finger, or if you just want to have something viewed or something showing up or displayed on that screen in terms of your work, then now it is already possible and you don't really have to go all around the software and trying to find some third-party apps that would actually enable you to do this. Now it's completely possible within the native operating system from Apple, and it's such a great thing. By the way, if you are new here on this channel and if you don't want to miss the next updates and the next videos like this one, then smash the subscribe button right now and make sure you never miss anything important and anything Apple related. Another cool feature, and this may sound ridiculous for some other people that don't really use Apple, and that is the support for USB drives and SD cards. We can now simply be plugged to the iPad and simply have the access to all the files just like you would have on a computer. Because if you know Apple, we don't really have the access to any files, but with the new Files app we should be able to get it, and it may sound ridiculous like I say, but just think about it. This is like a thing or feature for Androids, and this is one of the things that Android users say that they have it better, but now Apple decided to implement it and make sure that you have the access and the ability to use and like move and copy all the files from your USB or SD card right on your iPad. So it's kind of good step in a good direction. I'm not saying that this is something groundbreaking or that this is something that we haven't seen before, but we haven't seen it before on an iPad or on an iOS/iPadOS running device. But I guess this is something that should have been done a lot earlier, but hey, we have it right now and it's a great thing. And that comes along with the download manager. If you probably know that you download some sort of photo, you will probably have it stored in your camera roll. If you download some PDF file, you can open it up in some sort of documents app or in the iBooks, and you don't really have the access to see all the things that you have downloaded using Safari or using the internet on your iPhone or iPad. But now on the iPad, you will have the download manager just like you would have it on your PC, on your Mac. If you open up Google Chrome, you can actually see all of the things that you have downloaded and the times, and you will probably even have the option to open it up somewhere. So I guess that this is also something that the multitasking has been part of the iPad for quite some time, but one thing that still isn't possible to do is to use split screen on the very same app. Just like this, you can use multiple apps. You can see I have the App Store and some sort of German dictionary, but that doesn't matter. But the point I'm trying to say is that you're not able to use like the App Store and App Store in multi-window. I mean, you would probably never want to do it with an App Store, but for example with the notes, if you have like one note here and the second one here, and if you would just want to have them displayed at the very same time, it just wasn't possible until the new iPadOS update. And I guess that this is again something that will probably boost your productivity at some point, but again, it's not something groundbreaking, but it's a new feature from Apple that I definitely like, and hopefully it's gonna be working really well. And the last thing that made me excited about the iPadOS and the new version of that is the Apple Pencil, and more specifically the latency of that, because if you would use Apple Pencil right now with an old iPad or with an old iOS version, the latency of the Apple Pencil is 20 milliseconds. But right now, with the new update, it's only 9 milliseconds, and that means that everything what you do with your Apple Pencil is gonna feel a lot faster and snappier, and you will have, at the end, a better user experience from simply using the Apple Pencil, because everything happens quickly, and thus these milliseconds actually do add up. And here's a bonus one. As you can see, the keyboard on the iPad right now still offers some customization, but with the new iPadOS, you will have the option to have a very small keyboard that you can drag around the screen in order for you to be as productive as possible. And this is also another thing that I like about it, like the option to have, for example, you're not only limited to having it in the lower section of your display, you can, for example, have it up top here and simply use your thumb to type something in. Is just super awesome, and some little details and minor changes like this are what makes the new iPadOS so good in my opinion. So that would be it. I want to say thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below in the comments what you think about the new iPadOS. What is the thing that you are the most excited about, and overall what you think about it. Hope you enjoyed it. Click the subscribe button for more content like this, and hit the thumbs up as well. See you guys in the next video. Peace out.